This is Dispatches from Myrtle Beach with Charles Neal and my son Link from Good Mythical Morning. Reporting for duty again, son.
Yes, sir. I'm reporting for duty for you.
All right. Yeah. So
we're reporting for each other's duty. That's nice.
That would be correct.
Okay.
Yeah, we're trying to I think we're wrapping up for about the summer, aren't we?
Well, we're already in August. When does your summer end? Summer ends late here in LA.
Oh,
you know, I think summer goes into almost September. It's still the hottest of hots.
It stays pretty warm here most of the time now, all the way through October.
Well, let's keep summer going through October then, Dad.
Oh, I'm telling.
We can do it.
Well, we are.
Well, I love to hear it. So as of the airing of this, you just got back from the mountains?
Yeah, the last of July.
Okay. Well, maybe next week you can tell me all about it.
Okay.
Keep me in suspense a little bit.
I will.
All right.
Yeah. But
I don't want to derail your plans for this episode, you know.
Yeah.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is your show. I'm just along for the ride. You know, I'm enjoying it.
And I like the way we riding right along too. All you Myrtle Beach, y'all keep riding right along with us too.
That's right. Buckle up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what's in store today. Let's see what we got.
It's time for another edition of Myrtle Beach Mailbag. Well, I got a first email I got is from Blaine, and Blaine asked an interesting question. Okay. Blaine says, I've been trying to talk my wife into playing golf with me. I'm reaching out to see what is the best reason to convince my wife to give golf a try.
Okay.
And then he wants to know what is your golfing handicap?
Okay.
I'm
not much of a golfer, so if somebody asks what your handicap, is that appropriate to flat out ask somebody what their golf handicap is?
Well, if you're going to play in different tournaments and stuff, you're supposed to keep up to it. I'll answer that last question first for you, Blaine.
Okay.
I usually shoot from, I ain't done this many times, but in like 88 or something to 92 or 3. So, and that makes my handicap, that's what it is.
Well, you just said that you don't do it that often.
About once a week.
No, but I'm saying when you don't shoot that well that often is what you seem to imply.
Well,
is that the best you can do, or is that the average of what you do?
That's the average of what I do.
Okay, all right, 88 to 93.
Because
okay.
But to be good at golf, you have to play a lot of golf. And playing just once a week or once every 2 weeks, you won't never be real good at it. So, and I don't know how much you play, Blaine, but you're probably a lot better at it than I am. But I do try to get better at it. So,
okay.
But talking about trying to get your wife to give golf a try, it was kind of ironic that you wrote this question, because Nancy and I and another couple went right down the street down here, and they had redone their backyard, and they put a putting green in the backyard and a little chipping thing in the backyard, because my wife, Nancy, will tell you that she has not had a good thing when she was working for the power company. The men carried her to play golf, and they sent her up on the tee, and they just give her a club and told her, and she was turning around and going to hit the ball back towards them, and they were just scattering like a covey of doves, like, whoa, no, hit it the other way. And didn't try to help her, so she didn't get a good feeling about golf. But the other day, when we went to eat at these people's, she went out there and got the chipping thing and chipped 4 or 5 chipping balls about 20 foot or so and chipped every one of them where they almost went in the hole.
Really?
And so it makes me think that I may get back in the mode and try to get her, like you, to see if I can get, because I would like Nancy, if she would do it, to go and play golf with me.
So she could have a good sand game, or what is it called? She could be your trap queen? I don't know what you call it.
But I mean, and it's, and maybe I can do her if she would be receptive to it. I'll do her like she did me, like several years ago. The guy that I she got me 6 lessons from him, and they really helped. And so I may try to talk to her a little bit and see. But if you're going to try to get your wife to play golf and do it with you, Blaine, the best thing to do is to try to carry her out and see if maybe she can hit her and get interested and do some chipping or putting on a green somewhere and try to do that and see if she'd be interested. If not, do like I'm thinking about doing and go to a professional and pay for her to get some lessons and see if she'd be interested in playing then.
I got an idea.
Like
what about taking her to Top Golf?
And and she bought me 2 things, Link, that I've got where we're supposed to be going with Carl and Candace and them to Top Golf, and they ain't never been able to come down here yet and go. So that's exactly what I'm thinking about doing, taking me and her to go down there, because they'll give you the clubs and everything down there.
Right.
Where you can try it.
Let me explain it, and you tell me if this is an accurate explanation for those who don't know what Top Golf is. It's like if you took the golf course and you made it, well, I mean, if it was just a driving range, but instead of it just being a bunch of tees where you just hit it into oblivion to see how far you can go, it's like if you combined a driving range with not pinball. That would be cool though. That might be what it takes to get me to go again. But it makes it more of a target game where you're trying to tee off and hit it in different places.
Different lengths and everything.
And there's levels to it. There's like floors. Yeah. So like there's 3 floors, and then you can so there's people below you and above you if you're in the middle aiming for these targets, and you can drink beer, and you can watch television, and you can order food.
Yep.
And you can listen to music, I think. And it's all right. It's like a sports bar meets a driving range.
Yeah.
And as long as you don't get out of control and go off the front of the thing, all you'll do is land in a net.
Yeah.
I think that's a fun way to kind of get into the driving part of it. But there's no putting and there's no chipping, but sounds like she's the chipper.
You gave me a good idea bringing. I had forgot about that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So Blaine, we'll be going to Myrtle Beach to Top Golf. I don't know if you got one around where you living, but that'd be a good place to. And the convince her to do it is just like what I said, was because you'd like to have her companionship on the golf course and where you can be together and do things together.
Yeah, because a lot of people use golf or something like that to get away from their wives. So the fact that Blaine is wanting to bring his wife, I think that should make her feel good.
Oh, yeah.
So you can get some brownie points in the process, Blaine.
Well, that's kind of funny, Link. I had a thing on my phone the other day. This guy was going to play golf, and he had a note on his golf bag, and he said his wife had left it on his bag and said, when you cut the grass and take all the trash out and do these chores you're supposed to be doing and everything, when you get through doing all them things, take a picture that you've cut the grass and done all of them, and I'll tell you where your 6, 7, 8, and 9 irons hid at.
Oh.
Because he couldn't go play golf. Because he hadn't been doing his chores.
Wow.
So,
that sounds like a healthy interaction.
I thought it was hysterical. I read that thing on there.
Okay.
Because I do my chores and keep my grass cut.
That's right. I do my chores too.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. What are your self-care non-negotiables? Maybe you never skip. Lord, I better read this. Maybe you never skip leg day or therapy day. Is that right?
Yeah. Do you know what leg day is?
I have no idea.
Do you have any guesses as to what leg day is? If you're thinking about self-care.
Hump day.
That's a good guess.
The middle of the week. I don't
Middle of
know.
the week. Leg day is like when people go to the gym, they'll do like leg day. So they focus on just their legs. And then the next day they'll do upper body. Or then the next day they'll do like back.
Okay, that makes sense now.
Yeah.
When your schedule is packed with kids' activities, big work projects, and more, it's easy to let your priorities slip. Even when we know what makes us happy, it's hard to make time for it. But when you feel like you have no time for yourself, non-negotiables like therapy are more important than ever. And just when I've had a hard week and things have been going on and I've been working and I get tired and things going on in my life, and you always have some stress that's going on, whether or not you're going to be able to finish a project when you need to, with whatever, or get through with it. That it's really good to just take time for yourself and just figure out what you want to do to put yourself at ease. And kind of like where me and Nancy live now, I can go down here and get in the golf cart and drive down to the beach and just sit there late in the afternoon and just watch the waves come in, and just gives you a peace about what's going on with me. And it's also, I've done it in my life that when I needed to talk to somebody, like with the therapy you can get here, that from BetterHelp, that you can call and talk to somebody too, and be able to pick somebody that you feel comfortable with and with what's going on. So that's a good way to do things too. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist. Switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Never skip a therapy day with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/dispatches today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/dispatches. Why do you want to learn a new language? Maybe you have an upcoming international trip, want to connect with a family member or friend, understand a certain pop culture, or just want to learn a new skill. In comes Rosetta Stone, the most trusted language learning program, available on desktop or as an app. It truly immerses you in the language you want to learn. Rosetta Stone has been a trusted expert for 30 years with millions of users and 25 languages offered. It provides fast language acquisition with no English translations, so you really learn to speak, listen, and think in that language. Plus, their built-in true accent feature gives you feedbacks on your pronunciation. It's like having a personal trainer for your accent. Don't put off learning that language. There's no better time than right now to get started. For a very limited time, Dispatches from Myrtle Beach listeners can get Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership for 50% off. Visit rosettastone.com/dispatches. That's 50% off unlimited access to 25 language courses for the rest of your life. Redeem your 50% off at rosettastone.com/dispatches today. Well, we got another email from Lisa, and he says, and I've been looking forward to this.
Oh.
Lisa. He says, "Hey, Charles, my son Riley is terrified that there's a monster under his bed. I tried to tell him that there's no such thing, but he's very scared. Can you help me tell him he has nothing to be scared of and that there's no monsters under his bed?" Well, you know, when you're raising children and they have things that happen with them when they're growing up and they see things on TV or something and they get a little scared of things, Lisa, and sounds like, you know, this is kind of maybe that's what happened with Riley.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, you just need to kind of reiterate and giving him positive things to think about and showing him that there's not anything that is under the bed. And I know it's hard to get him to believe that, but my thing that I've come up with is to tell Riley that the only thing that he needs to worry about that's under the bed, and that is Santa Claus under there.
Okay, well, listen, why don't you talk to Riley directly right now and tell him whatever you need to tell him.
So, Riley, you need to know that there's not any monsters under your bed, and if there's anything under there, it's probably just Santa Claus keeping a check on you and seeing if you're good or bad and things that's going on with you, and wanting to know that it's just good old Saint Nick up under there. It ain't no monster. And he's just checking on you once in a while and making sure that you're being a good kid, and you can ask and get whatever you want to for Christmas. So I wouldn't worry about being no monsters under there. It's probably just Santa Claus under there trying to look out for you.
Yeah, that's right, Riley. It's just an old man with a beard underneath your bed, like judging your every action to determine if you can get anything you want out of life. That's better.
I knew you were going to do that because you didn't ever tell Lily and Lincoln and Lando that there was ever a Santa Claus. They didn't ever have to worry about that.
And they weren't afraid either.
No, that's right.
Yeah, and I got all the credit for the presents.
Yeah. But I mean, he is afraid of something, so I'm trying to put something better there than a monster up under there.
Okay, yeah. I guess it is an improvement.
So you...
Lisa, it's up to you whether you want to share that little clip with him.
Yeah, that's up to you, but that's the best I could...
Use your discretion.
Yeah, use your parental discretion on whether you want to cut out what Link told you or what I told you.
Yep.
So we'll just have to wait and see. So, but send us another email back and see how it goes with it. I would kind of like to know kind of how old Riley is, but that might have helped a little bit. But
yeah, if he's 45, that's going to be interesting. I mean, when you were a kid, were you ever afraid of monsters or anything? Like what?
I don't think I've ever been afraid of anything.
Really? You've never been afraid of anything? As a kid, you were never afraid of anything? I don't know what I was afraid of. I know that Lily was afraid of owls when she was very young. She would call us in there and say, "There's an owl in my room. There's owls in here." She was afraid of them. I don't know. Lincoln was afraid of an alligator coming out of the toilet. And I don't know. I don't remember what Lando, if he was afraid of anything in particular. Oh, mascots. of all shapes and forms. He still is. Like the Chick-fil-A cow. He was deathly afraid of that. But I don't remember being afraid of anything either. But I'm sure I was.
Yeah, probably. But I mean...
But not a monster under the bed. I mean, I definitely think if I was in bed and there was the closet was cracked open, I would get up and shut it all the way. I didn't want to have that little, like the dark slit with something kind of peeking through at me. I'm like, man, I don't know. I feel like Santa Claus might be back there. I'm gonna lock him in before I go to sleep.
Well, can I ask you one question about Santa Claus?
Yes, Dad.
Did you ever send your Aunt Tessie a Santa Claus?
Well, it's I gotta wait for the season.
No, don't.
It's not the right time of year.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, they're not out of storage. You can't just buy one on Amazon right now. I'll send it when the time is right. But thanks for the reminder. Logan, make a note.
I just did.
We gotta.
Because she did bring it up to me the other day.
The other day again?
She just asked me. She asked me if Lincoln said anything about sending me my Santa Claus.
What, really?
Yeah.
Because did she know that we had talked about it?
You?
Yeah, no, I know. But did she know that we had talked about it here?
Yes.
Oh, Dad, I didn't know that. Okay, well.
Yeah, she knows about Dispatches from Myrtle Beach. They watch it once in a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I've ordered it, but it's one of those where it's like you can order it for the future.
Okay. All right.
That's what I did.
Well, we got another thing. People want to know, can I pronounce these words?
They love this segment.
It's time for, can I pronounce these words? Let's see if I follow, fail.
We put some words in there for you, and let's go through them. So these are fresh, new ones. All right, you see the first one?
Yeah, epitome.
There you go. You nailed the first one.
I mean, yeah. Y'all must be making things easier for me.
Well, we can't tell. We don't know. We don't know where the line is, honestly. But that was good. Sorry, I'm sorry. Was that insulting?
No.
Okay, good. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Do you see the next one?
Gyro.
Well, that's acceptable. It could also. Do you know an alternate pronunciation for that?
Gyro.
Nope.
Gyro. I thought that was one of them.
Make the
sandwiches.
Make the G and H.
Hyro.
Yes, but now make the Y a E.
Hero.
There you go. That's also, I think that might be even more accurate than gyro. But then some people say gyro. I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Gyro, gyro, or hero. All are acceptable. All right, what about this next one? Are you going to be 3 for 3 today, Dad?
Mimi.
No, he's not. I knew he would get you with that one. That's not it. This is an internet term. This is, basically these are, I mean, what this has become now is of something that you can look at that's passed around on the internet, like a picture that's passed around on the internet. The second E is silent, but it impacts the first E. First E is a long E.
Emmy.
Well, no, it still starts.
Mimi. Mimi.
The second E is silent.
Mimi.
You're still saying the second E. Pretend the second E is not there.
Mimi.
But you're still saying this. But pretend.
No, I ain't. I just
the second E. Take your thumb. Take your thumb. Take your thumb and put it over the second E, and then read it.
Do no good.
Just do it. Put your thumb over the second E and say it.
And my thumb's so big it covered the whole thing up. Emma.
Okay. All right, and now make that first E. Keep your thumb over the second E. It doesn't exist. But make that first E a long E.
Me.
You still say the second E. Say what you said, but not the second E. The first, everything else is right.
Let's see. Me.
No, there's no second E. Your thumb's over it. Why don't we do this? Take that second E and move it beside the first E.
Me, Mom.
M-E-E-M. What's that spell?
Meme.
Yes! You got it! Meme. Say it again.
Meme.
Yes. You got it. All right. And we got one more there. Can you get this? Can it be 3 out of 4?
Bruschetta.
There he is. What is bruschetta?
It's a type of meat.
It's like a Italian appetizer with bread and then cheese and
olive oil and stuff.
Tomatoes.
Oh.
No meat.
No meat.
All right. And
Just
then the
bread.
last one. Hit me with that last
Crepes.
Look at that. Dad, I think we're getting to, you all, like, of those 5, there was only one of them that you didn't get.
I'm telling you. And I didn't get it for ever.
And now, so take me through all of them again. Let's see if you remember all of them.
Epitome, gyro.
Nope.
Gyro.
There you go. Yes. Here we are again.
Meme.
Yes. And
Bruschetta and crepes.
There you go. You did it, Dad. How you feel? You feeling good? Now, can you use them all in one sentence? I mean, I got to up the ante somehow. You can say them. You got to be able to use them in a sentence.
It would be the epitome of me to eat a gyro meme with a bruschetta crepes.
When you put them in a sentence, you started saying more of them wrong, which I loved. Okay, that's great. It would be the epitome of me to eat a gyro meme.
Gyro, yeah. It would be an epitome
Bruschetta
of me
crepe.
to eat a gyro with a bruschetta on a crepes.
There you go. And you're putting an S on crepe every time. So I do have
crepe.
to.
I mean, hell, who just eats one crepe?
Okay, good point. Good point, Dad. You got it.
It's time for another edition of. Y'all need to look at this paint. I got one from Christy, and it says many of the top paint companies pick a color of the year every year.
I bet one of them started doing it, and then all the other ones followed suit in order to sell more paint.
Well, yeah, but they've been doing this for years.
Okay.
Christy wants to know, what is Charles Neal's color of 2024?
And can you take us through what the store colors of the year are before you give us your pick?
Well, Sharon Williams' color is upward.
Okay. So that's like a grayish blue.
And Valspar is renew blue.
But that looks green to me.
Well, a lot of times blues have a green tint with it.
Renew blue is green. Okay, whatever.
And Bear is cracked pepper.
Oh, I like the name of that one. So they just picked that is a dark gray. Well, I guess it just looked like, it's not as dark as I expected it to be.
And Benjamin Moore is Blue Nova.
That's
a pretty dark blue too.
I like that one. Is that could be a car, Are you driving a Blue Nova?
Yeah. Used to have one of them.
Is that right?
And it was blue.
Wow, look at that. Maybe that could be your color of the year too, Dad.
Yeah, 66 Chevy 2 Super Sport.
Okay.
And then the last one is Glidden Limitless.
Limitless. So that's like khaki to me.
Yeah, that's a tannish color.
Limitless. Yeah. I don't love the name. All right.
Well,
you've kept us in suspense long enough, Dad. I mean, did any of these come into running to be your color of 2024, or did you end up going elsewhere?
Oh, I went elsewhere, absolutely, because living at the beach and as much paint as I have put on in the last several years, and you can walk in the Sherwin-Williams store and ask them what's the most favorite color that people pick down here at the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And I have talked about this color before, and the name of it is sea salt.
Sea salt, ladies and gentlemen, is Charles Neal's color of 2024. And which brand is that? Sherwin-Williams?
Sherwin-Williams.
Sherwin-Williams. Sea salt.
It's SW6204.
There you go.
It's a gray color, but it's got, when the sunlight hits it, it'll have a green tint to it and the different shades in the room.
Okay.
And it'll even change and have like a blue tint to it. I love it. It's a wonderful color because anything, you can put stuff on the walls, pictures, all kind of stuff. It's a wonderful color.
There you have it, Myrtle Beach.
Nancy has told me when I repaint in our house we got a couple of rooms that I'm going to put it in.
Well, there you have it, guys. And you know what? Is that not the first y'all need to look at this paint color you ever picked?
Yes, it is.
Oh, so see, it's been around for a few years, but it's coming into its own. You can. This is like party conversation now. People now know, if they're talking about like paint colors, like, well, if you go to the Sherwin-Williams and get yourself a little sea salt, it'll come to life with whatever you hang on the wall. You just tell somebody that at a party. That's the service we're providing.
Getting pretty good at it too, aren't we?
Yep.
So all you Myrtle Beach, if you want to paint something, you ought to try Charles Neal's color sea salt. That's the color I like the most to put in houses and everything. So just go look at it and see how you like it. Well, Link, it was fun having you all here with us today, and we'll be back next week for another one. And don't forget to follow and subscribe wherever you get your podcast on YouTube. And while you're at it, rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. And if you got a question, comment, or story you'd like to share with me, email me at ratherbesagging53@aol.com. And y'all have a great rest of the week, and we can't wait to meddle with your monsters again next time.
Turning them into Santa Claus.
Well, Link, it's good seeing you again this week, and I love you.
You too. I love you too. Love to Nancy.
Yeah, I'll tell her.
All right.